Hi, I'm Yumna, and today we're gonna learn how to make oatmeal. We're gonna start out with some old-fashioned oats. So you can see here what the oats look like. This is what is called rolled oats or old-fashioned oats. So what they do is they take the whole oats and then they basically flatten it out. So it's minimally processed besides the flattening it out. And what that's gonna do is gonna give you like a whole grain, and it's just gonna be better texture, better taste, and overall just more nutritious bowl of oatmeal. So to start, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you two methods for making oatmeal. One of them is going to be the microwave method, and the second one will be the stovetop method. Both of them are pretty much the same. One is just a little bit longer if you're making bulk oatmeal for the whole family. So the microwave one is one that I do every morning with my kids, and they've gotten used to it. The measurements, it's pretty simple. What you'll do is you'll take half a cup and measure some rolled oats in there. So we've got half a cup of oats, we'll pour it into the bowl. And then we'll do 2 times the amount of liquid. So we'll measure 1 cup of water and then just add a little pinch of salt. And now we microwave it for 2 minutes. All right. And there you have it. 4 bowls of oatmeal. So this is for my husband and I, and for my kids, this is what we do almost every morning. So everybody's got theirs, and then we can just customize it. So now is the fun part. Now we get to customize these and have some fun with them. So we've got a bunch of different things going on over here. These are my 4 favorite ways to serve oatmeal, and a lot of them play off of what you'd find in the oatmeal packets. So maple brown sugar is very popular. The next one we're gonna do is a banana nut, which is a very popular flavor as well. The next one we're gonna do is strawberries and cream. Okay, and the last one is the one that my kids absolutely love. It's the chocolate peanut butter one. And there you have it. So you can kind of customize these however you'd like. There's loads of ways to customize it to have a feel-good kind of breakfast that's gonna make you energized and make you feel really full all the way up until lunchtime. Okay, now we're ready to do the stovetop instructions. So it's not any different. It's just, I prefer this method if you're doing it for a lot of people, or if you're doing meal prep on a Sunday night, for example. So you can get, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 servings of oatmeal all in one pot, and much faster than just microwaving multiple ones, 2 minutes each. So to start, I have some boiling water in here, and I did 6 cups of water. So to that, we're gonna add half the amount of oats. So we'll add 3 cups of oats. And to that, we're also gonna add a pinch of salt. Probably more like a half a teaspoon of salt. So go ahead and put that in there. The salt is really gonna help it bring out that sweet flavor of the oats, and it's just gonna soften everything up and just make the flavor more well-rounded. So make sure not to forget that. Next, all we're gonna do is just stir it all up until the water is absorbed by the oats and the oats have softened. This should take about 5 minutes. So just kind of stir it occasionally. And while I'm doing this, sometimes I'll also be prepping some of the ingredients that are gonna go on top of it. So I'll cut up some fruit, prepare some nuts or whatever else is going on top. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes now, and you can see that the oats have gotten really nice and thick and creamy. And there's not even any milk in here. I mean, it's seriously just water and salt, but you can see it already has this creamy consistency. So what we're gonna do now is, it's pretty much ready. I recommend just covering it for 2 minutes and just letting everything kind of sit and turning off the heat. And what I'm gonna do is, instead of enjoying it now because we've got lots of bowls of oatmeal that we made today, I'm going to store them in some meal prep containers. And so we'll have this for the rest of the week. We can enjoy them every day with different toppings. All right, we made a ton of oatmeal today, and I hope I taught you a little thing about how to make oatmeal, whether it's microwave instructions or the stovetop instructions. I really love this recipe because it's a staple recipe in my house that we make all the time, literally like every single weekday, whether we do it on the stovetop or in the microwave. It's just something about a warm, cozy bowl of oatmeal in the morning that just sets the day up really well. It keeps you full until lunchtime. It gives you lots of good carbs, good nutrition, and it's just really healthy for the whole family to enjoy. So I hope you liked this video, and I hope you share with me how you make your oatmeal.